silencers on. I'm just loading up clips, a couple grenades. Got a missile launcher with a couple, missiles. I'm ready for war.
Acting a fool on swagging a fool. That's how we do on swagging a fool.
Serving the news, giving all the tea.
It's real live in this WAC. Acting a fool on swagging a fool. That's how we do on swagging a fool.
Serving the news, giving all the tea.
It's real live in this WAC.
A straight fool, yeah, you know how we act. Real news coming straight from the swag. Every week giving y'all the tea. Yeah, John and G. Tell your peeps tune into the real. Then the news ain't real. Sit back, chillin', let's get cool. It's time to watch that Swac'N the fool.
And we officially here. Another episode, another week. We got J-Max, we got GSPN, we got Al. So grab your shakers, grab your jerseys, grab your towels. Shout out to Dale the Crazy Man on the track. We got Joe on the track. Hey, Jackson State, Grambling State, Alcorn State, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Prairie View A&M, Mississippi Valley, Texas, Southern Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and don't think I ain't forget. We won't. I say, go. Shout out to the mighty Jaguars, man. We back. Swac'N the fool. We still swacking and acting. We swacking and we acting, yeah.
What's up? I got my guy with me. We back. It's been a minute. We back. My guy, Wild Wayne.
What's happening, G? What's happening, boy?
What's going on?
Man, all is well. Man, is big shout out to everybody out there, all the SWAC fans. I know everybody been chomping at the bit, waiting for football to get started. So, man, hey, let's do some things tonight, man. Let's do it for the people.
Yeah, man. Everybody been getting all feisty, and I think people just ready for some football. So it's gonna be a fun. We're gonna hit on a lot of topics today. If y'all don't know who Wild Wayne is, let me give you a brief for everybody that's coming on who Wild Wayne is. Wild Wayne started his how can I put it? His I wouldn't say questions, but his thoughts on every game weekly in the SWAC in the group, and it just blew up from there. So I decided to get him on to get his thoughts on. Now I want to get his thoughts on the season, every team. I like it so much, so I want to get him his season. We're gonna talk about the preseason picks. We're gonna pick his brain on everything, and he's an Alabama A&M guy, so we're gonna see what's going on over on the hill too. So we're gonna touch on a lot tonight.
Yes, sir.
First up, bro, we just had SWAC Media Day. And talk about give me your opinion on the offense player of the year, defense player of the year. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so offensive player of the year, talking about Musa from FAMU. And, Musa last year, as everybody knows, he came on the scene, came on strong. He was the captain of the ship for a team that just came up short. And so with all the talent that they have coming back, I kind of thought that it was expected that he would be named the player of the year. But I kind of thought that maybe the nod slightly may go to Andrew Body of Texas Southern. But, I guess, best, the quarterback of what's projected to be the best team in the league, I think that's, I think it's appropriate. What remains to be seen is, can he live up to it, right?
Right. What you think about defense, on defense side of the ball?
Yeah, defensively, I think, defensively is very deep.
Yeah.
I mean, real deep league defensively this year. I mean, you could have just thrown a blanket over every single guy that they even had on the first team. I think everybody that's on the first team that's projected had an opportunity to be under consideration to be the defensive player of the year. So, I think they got it right. I think the media, I think they got it right on both sides. I think defensively, though, I think it's a little bit easier to project than offense because defense, obviously we know see ball, get ball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I mean, in terms of just like with Musa on offense, I mean, a lot has to click, and he's expected to take a big step. So we'll see.
Yeah. So before we get started, I forgot to brief you on this. Before we get started, we did an exercise last night. I want to get your opinion, all right? So what we did was we picked, you can only use each school once. We picked the head coach. We picked the offense from this year, a defense, a stadium, a band, and a fan base. Mm-hmm. So I want to get your thoughts. You're on the hot seat, head coach. So let's start with head coach. It's a SWAC super team is what I call it.
Okay. Head coach. I gotta go with Willie Simmons.
Okay.
Head coach.
Okay. Who we going with for the offense?
All right. Quarterback, I gotta go Andrew Body.
I mean, we can do offense as a whole. Offense as a whole and a defense as a whole.
Oh, offensive team. Okay, offensive team.
Yeah.
Okay, offensive team. Wow. Ooh, man. Get me. Man. I gotta say FAMU, man, because I like the receiving core with Oxendine, Shareed, and then also having Pruitt at tight end, and then their offensive line is huge, man. So listen, I go.
You can only use each school once, so you use Willie Simmons. So
okay.
Like that.
So I gotta go with it. All right. So another team offense.
Unless you switch your head coach, and then you go.
I'll switch the head coach to my head coach, Maynard, and then I'll go FAMU's offense.
What about defense?
Defense, I gotta go Southern.
Okay, Southern defense.
Yep.
And you can choose a band.
Oh man. I'll go with the Sonic Boom.
Okay. And a fan base.
Fan base. Wow. Just because they ain't been picked yet, and they'll be they so crazy about it, Grambling. Every year we're the only team to win the Celebration Bowl that's in the SWAC.
They make sure you don't forget it. Even though it was like 6 or 7 years ago, it don't matter.
I said in my predictions, I said, see, even though it happened when most of our kids were in diapers.
Look, I got 2 kids that weren't even born yet. Okay, 2 of them. I got 2 that weren't even born. Yet. And then stadium to close it out.
Stadium. I gotta go with Alabama State.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Maynard, FAMU offense, Southern defense, Jackson band, and then
Alabama State
Stadium, and Grambling fans. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. I want to get your thoughts on every team. I know you made it good, so let's dive into it. I love to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on what you think, your projections for every team. Oh,
yes, sir.
Before we get into that, you want to hit that, or you want to hit a little bit on A&M first?
Yeah. So A&M, and we'll talk about them here in a bit. So A&M, as we know, we had our first losing season under Coach Maynard last year. We were 4-7, and we had a lot of problems at quarterback. We played Quincy Casey, who was a transfer in. We also played Xavier Langford. We had problems just being able to get the ball down the field. And then we started with Gary Quarles as our starting running back. And then Donovan Eaglin, who was named to the preseason All-SWAC team at running back, he took over halfway and began to show a lot of signs. So the way we finished the year developed a lot of confidence into this year. Having that big comeback to deny Texas Southern
Yeah.
in the season finale. I mean, that was huge for us, 21-point comeback. So with our team this year, we've got a lot of questions, particularly still again at quarterback, even though Maynard brought in he brought in 4 guys. And one of them, he already decided to switch to safety. So, yeah. So one was an incoming transfer from Buffalo, and he's already switched to safety. Okay. But he got 2 incoming freshmen and then another transfer quarterback. So it's still a question as to who's going to be the starter. We'll get closer to that answer as we near up to the opener at Vanderbilt. We'll probably know who the starter is probably that week. The contenders there's 3 contenders. Xavier Langford is in the running again. And then also, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to even put it out there like that. But our receiving core should be very solid. Keenan Hambrick came on last year. He was an incoming transfer from Western Carolina. He's expected to be our best receiver this year. We've got Zarian Hayes. He's picked to be on the all Swac'N first team on defensive end. So he's back. We should have a pretty good year this year. Our schedule's real tough, as you might expect for everybody in the SWAC, but we're looking for some good things and what we'll call is the bounce back year on the hill. Okay.
Talk about Paul Bryant. It's been a lot of things going around. He doing some good work at A&M.
Yeah,
Talk
man.
about Paul Bryant. I see he got the dog houses in the end zone. I don't know if people get the concept. So explain all that, dog. The new facility that's down there. So explain all that.
Yeah, so prior to Dr. Bryant coming, and for those of you who don't know, Dr. Paul A. Bryant, that's our athletic director. Before he came, the event center where we play basketball at, that was already under construction. But since he's been there, he's added to the experience by having a few different innovations and things of that nature. Also, the football field just got new turf installed. And then the aforementioned dog houses in the end zone. The dog houses are basically suites, so to speak. They're air conditioned. They have power, water. So they're right outside the end zone where you can actually just have an extended tailgate experience right inside the stadium while the game is actually going on. Those were, they were, leased out at a very nominal fee, and all of them have been taken up, which has been great. And also, he's been doing a lot of things locally with the communities, just trying to bridge gaps with the communities. Also with businesses, bringing in, other suppliers and other vendors that do business. Also, as many of you have been to A&M, you can look at the tailgate area and, for years it was just rocks. Well, now that's been paved. Okay. So big things. And there's many, many more things that are on the horizon, but he's a go-getter. He's a businessman. Folks at Grambling, you know him very well because he was at your place. When he talks about it, he's about it. He does it. He's a man of action. So big shout out to Dr. Bryant. And we're looking forward to talking to him next week on our show on our From the Hill podcast, which debuts Tuesday night, 87 Central, man. So big things going on.
From the Hill podcast, Tuesday night. Make sure y'all check it out. While y'all here, make sure you get the likes up. Let me get my banner up. I want to go ahead and get your opinion on some of these. What you think coming up in the year? So let me get it.
Yeah. So before we get into it, let me just say this too, G. I know that there's been a lot of animosity going on amongst fan bases, and some of y'all been really dragging and getting after each other, kind of hard, man. And some of it has been kind of hilarious, and some of it has not been cool. Yeah. People been using folks' names and dragging them through mud and all that stuff. And that's not cool, y'all. It's all good to, have some friendly, go at it. Let's trash talk, but let's not get too personal on each other. And then the other thing too is, I do want to say that a lot of people, they've been living way in the past, man. Folk been living way in the past. I know some people probably come up here and say to me like, well, who are you to talk about people living in the past. Well, I ain't sitting up here trying to brag like A&M has been something that we're not. We've won one SWAC championship in 2006, and we lost 5 other appearances. And yeah, I know we won the one in 2021, but it was shortened by COVID. But we're not living in the past. We got fans out here talking about what we did 10 years ago. It's like, come on, bro. This is a what have you done for me lately society. All that stuff you did 5 years, 10 years ago, 1 year ago, it doesn't matter anymore. The states changed, the games changed, the names changed, the coaches changed. Sometimes the venues change. So, a lot of things that we're going to talk about here on this show tonight. Yeah, I know some of y'all going to have some things to say, and we would expect nothing less. But one thing that we are as SWAC followers and SWAC fans and SWAC alums, we're passionate and we're going to give our opinions. And you are totally welcome to give your opinion off our opinions. But we are telling everybody out here, let's keep it classy and let's stay united as best as we can. At least up until game day.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's get into it. Because I want to get your opinion on some of these schools. Let me get it pulled up. There we go. First up, we got UAPB. Let's start with UAPB.
All right. So UAPB, Alonzo Hampton, new head coach. As you guys know, Doc Gamble, he was dismissed halfway into the last season. Kayvon Britton was their leading rusher. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. He's gone. He transferred. Raekwon Prince was their leading receiver. He also transferred. Yeah. So, you can see their schedule right here. They were 3-8 last year. And what I am predicting for them, I'm not looking to see them really do a whole lot this year. I think that they're going to be able to compete in some games. I'm not saying that when I have this 1-10 prediction here, I'm not saying that they're just going to get smoked, in 10 games. I think that they're going to compete. And I think especially later in the season when Coach Hampton gets a little bit more continuity with his team. He's got a lot of places, a lot of pieces to replace. And so, as all of you know, UAPB is not the easiest place to recruit to. It's not the easiest place to play either. So, I just, with respect, I just say this 1-10 and 0-8 record, just with an asterisk to say that this is a rebuild fully. So.
And listening to him at media day, I like some of the things he had to say. He came in, he not making no excuses. One thing I like, he said he's gonna recruit locally. So I really like this. So he sounds like a really good guy with a good. He's been all over. Got a really good resume too. So I think this is a good hire in my opinion. He kind of got me feeling good about UAPB right now. But I'm like, it's gonna be a rebuilding year. Don't be a rebuilding year. So I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't see him getting any. You got on here. I don't see him getting any SWAC wins. I'm with you.
Yeah.
The one win is Miles. They open up with Tulsa. That's an L. Tennessee State, Memphis. That's an L. I'm with you. Alabama A&M L. Valley. Yeah, I'm with you. 1-10, 0-8. But I just want to see some progression in them. See some progression.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
The one game that I actually almost gave him a win, another win, is the Valley game.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, when I saw they had to go to Valley, I was like, nah.
Yeah,
maybe if they was at home. And your question is Coach Hampton's first season, just to see what kind of scheme he runs and all those type of things will be interesting. And who fills the void of Kayvon Brittany and Raekwon Prince transfers.
I mean, when you lose your best receiver and your best running back, man, I mean, that's hard for even teams that have an experienced head coach. So, that's UAPB, y'all.
Let's get into the Grambling State Tigers. Grambling State, you got them at 5-6.
Yeah. So
what's your thoughts on Grambling?
Yeah, so you see that they finished 3-8 last year. Now, in that 3-8, everybody knows they struggled big time on offense. I mean, almost like you watch the classic at the end, the Bayou Classic. I mean, they could do nothing on offense,
especially with their freshman quarterback.
Exactly. So they've got some challenges here in their schedule. Now they've got a couple of they do have a layup in there with Florida Memorial.
Yeah.
But starting out, they go to Hampton. I mean, they play at Hampton in the Brick City Classic. They're at Red Bull Arena. Hampton, as y'all know, CAA, Colonial. Well, now it's the Coastal Athletic Association. Hampton's a pretty good team, even though their record was a little bit difficult for them in that new league. But I don't see them winning that one. And going to LSU, you already know, not happening. But then I see them starting to get some wins. Now you might notice that I got my alma mater in here. We play at them. Now, one thing about us playing there, Grambling has sucked. Grambling's been good. Grambling's been average. And for some reason, we cannot win there. We struggle in the hole.
I understand your pain. Every time we go, I don't think we've won in the hole since 93, 94.
Yeah. Just somehow, man, crazy things happen. When we played them there the last time, when we had Glass as our quarterback, we turned the ball over 6 times and lost. But and then you can see that they're going to play Alabama State. They're going to play them in Mobile. That's called the Port City Classic. And then so as you can see it progressing on through. So last year they were 3-8. I have them making a 2-win improvement.
Okay.
And I have them at 4-4 in the SWAC. Now, questions: has Hugh finally found his QB? Miles Crawley, he transferred in from Alabama State. And then Julian Calvez, basically, he became the guy towards the end. But does he have his quarterback? And then also, Hugh's the offensive coordinator. Everybody knows that. Is it going to take steps in year 2? It has to. It has to, doesn't it? And then also, everybody knows, too, their defense, Sundiana Anderson, powerful defensive player. Their defense is on paper, it's the strength of their team right now. So the offense needs to be able to do some things. Otherwise, they're gonna have the offense needs to do some things because you'll have a defense on the field a lot. So that's what I got, man. I'd be curious to hear what you say because your team is on that list too.
Yeah. See, I'm a little higher on Grambling. So I got them beating Hampton. I'm a little higher. I think Miles Crawley gonna get their starting position. I like what I saw in the spring from him. And so they did get a new OC. The guy from ULM. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. So that's gonna be interesting because Hugh is finally giving up the play calling.
Okay.
I think that's
I did not know that.
Yeah, see, I think that's gonna help him. Okay. In my opinion. The offense is totally different. I like it that the receiver core they brought in. I want to see what they do defensively, but I'm kind of optimistic about Grambling. I think that's my sleeper team going into the year. So I actually had them beating. I got them beating Hampton, Prairie View, and Southern.
Okay, so you got them being 8-3.
Yeah, I got with a swing game in there. With a swing game, like Alabama State will be a swing game for me. In the Alabama A&M will be a swing game for me as well. So I got them 7-4, 8-3. My prediction on Grambling, and I'm a little high on them. I'm a little high on Grambling.
Okay, yeah, I got kind of just a even view about Grambling, but we'll see.
Let's go. Prairie View Panthers.
Yeah, Prairie View, man.
Ooh, you got them 4-7.
Yeah, so 6-5 last year, and last year, they stumbled down the stretch. They lost. They had that golden opportunity to go to Jackson, and they blew it on the road there at Valley.
Yeah.
Trayson Conley is a redshirt senior. He's a quarterback. And those that watched him, he can run.
He's running great.
Yeah, but he needed to develop as in his passing game because their passing game was the weakest part of their team last year on offense. So as you can see through here, yes, I do have them at 4-7. I have them coming out the gate losing the first 4 games. Because they got Texas Southern in that Labor Day Classic. And the reason why I have Texas Southern winning that is Texas Southern's better. And also Texas Southern has not beaten them in a while. So, it's going to be a lot of motivation for Texas Southern to come out them gates swinging. And then Abilene Christian at home, Abilene Christian is a pretty decent FCS team. SMU, you already know, group of 5. Well, group of 5, you already know it's not happening. And then they come to you guys. But then after they come to you guys, then that's when I start seeing things starting to turn for them.
Okay.
But I do see them because of those first 4 games. That's the reason why I have them at 4-7. And it's not to say that they're a bad team because they do have talent, but the questions I have down there, you see Trayvon Conley developing as a passer. You have to be able to push the ball down the field. Yeah, and then also last year's finish. How does that motivate them coming into this year? And then Bubba McDowell, head coach. This is his second season, but now this is his first year with some of his recruits. So let's see what Prairie View does. Your thoughts?
I kind of got them a little bit higher because I think they get Houston Christian this year. I think they get Houston Christian, and I'm gonna give you something. I just said they wouldn't beat us, but we always blow these. Every year we blow these as game we should not blow, and so Prairie View coming to Alcorn scares me. That game scares me on my schedule. Just because them coming out, we always blow the games we shouldn't blow. So that team scares me. And other than that, I'm with you. I got them I think I had them at 5-6, 6-5.
Okay.
So I'm with you. But I do think there's gonna be a quarterback competition. See, they brought in a quarterback from Kahoma. Johnson is his name. They brought in a quarterback from Kahoma, a transfer quarterback, big kid. So I think he's gonna challenge for Trayvon for that starting spot. But I want to see Bo McDowell take his step this year. I think it's gonna be a big year for Bubba. Take that step this year.
Yeah. Now, if they do anything different in those first 4 games, then that 4-7 definitely can switch.
Yeah. But I do. Yeah. Just like the last game, I think that'd be a swing game. So I can see them 6-5, 5-6. Next up, Texas Southern, the home of Andrew Body, my boy Andrew Body.
Now I know a lot of people are probably gonna be trying to come after me for this one, but there's a lot of people who even think that Texas Southern can win the West, and I am not one of those guys, unfortunately. Talented, yes. But the problem is that they don't really have any depth at receiver behind Derek Morton. Derek Morton is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, awesome. I mean, he's a matchup problem for almost every team in the league. But the question is, though, who else do you have? Now, their running game will be healthy. Andrew Body is, everybody knows he can run. He's a dual threat. He can do it all. But the other thing that I have there is they snuck up on people last year.
Yeah.
Now you're the hunted. Everybody's looking for you now. And that's probably my biggest reason why I have them staying at the same where they were as last year. I have them 5-6 again. But when I say this, though, I have them at 5-6 by competing. Like FAMU coming to Houston. That's going to be a very competitive game to me. Grambling on the road, another close one. Texas Southern, Southern. They shut them out last year. So these games like the Toledo and the Rice game, we know those are two games we can just kind of throw out. But the Grambling, the FAMU, and probably the Southern and the Jackson State, all the SWAC games, those can go either way.
Yeah.
But to me, I just kind of believe that the factor of them being hunted and people looking out for them now, I think in actually adding extra game planning to shut down Andrew Body, developing and sending extra bodies, no pun intended, to stop him, I think keeps them right where 5-6 and then going 4-4 at SWAC.
And I kind of agree with you here. That was always my take. They kind of snuck up on a lot of people last year. But I do think they have more talent at the receiver position coming back to give Andrew Body a better year. I think that Andrew Body will have a better year this year. I don't trust the coaching. I don't trust the defense in year one. They do have a new defensive coordinator come from Grambling. Everett Todd, he runs that 3-3-5 defense.
Yeah.
So he's a guru, but I think it's gonna take him a couple years to get his players in there to get it how he wanted. So I think in year one, it's gonna be have a little trouble trying to get that in there. But I do, like I was saying about, I think Body they bring in Quay Davis and a kid named Jaron Johnson that he didn't play last year, got hurt. So I think that'll help Body out. So I think Body will have a bounce back here. But I just can't trust them. And also I think they're gonna be the 100. I mean, when they beat us last year, I did not nobody. We thought we could go to homecoming and just kick it. We wasn't trying. The team was overlooked. Everybody's overlooked because we like Texas Southern. Come on, and they came there and beat. We like, oh wow. So I think this year people gonna get up to play Texas Southern, and you got to you got to be ready, and they got to be ready for that. And I just don't know if I can trust their coaching staff enough to be ready for that.
Yeah, man. So that's Texas Southern.
Texas Southern, the big bad Braves.
Yeah, your Braves. Yeah, so 5-6 last year. And I will preface that by saying my third question below. You guys got to avoid the head-scratching losses. That Bethune-Cookman loss. And then it wasn't just you losing at Grambling. It's how you lost at Grambling. I mean, Grambling just hammered you guys.
Wow.
That was the best game Grambling played all last year. Yeah. And it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, you guys got to be able to avoid some of these losses that are head scratchers, man, because you guys are favored in a lot of games. And sometimes I don't even have to tell you, you guys have to be able to bring it. Every
year happens. Every single year we lose one, sometimes two games. We just can't explain us losing every year. Even when we win championships, and losing a 3-8 Grambling. Like what?
Right.
So it's just something we gotta do better with.
Right. So as you look through the schedule here, you guys start off at Southern Mississippi and Stephen F. Austin. I see the Stephen F. Austin loss being a close one. I do see it being close. But I do see you guys getting McNeese at home. You guys get Prairie View at home. And then that Alabama State game, that can go either way. I was kind of going back and forth with that one, but I scored that one as a loss. But then you guys get that revenge against Grambling for sure.
Gotta have it. That's homecoming too.
You gotta have that one. And then you get Pine Bluff on the road. That's another one of those type of games that I say that you better come focused. And then you get Valley at home, another one you got to be focused. And then you get the big ones. The big finish you guys got with those three at the end with Southern, Texas Southern, and then going to Jackson. So those are three games that can go either way. So this 6-5, I kind of see you guys, your ceiling being 8-3. And I see your floor is 6-5. I don't see you guys losing any more than 5 games. But you got to be able to do the two things that I have here. Who's starting at quarterback? Is it Allen? Is it Lawrence? Or is it Macon, who transferred from Missouri? And then, yes, Jarvion Howard, bad man at running back. But who else you going to get that's going to be able to step it up? Because remember, people were putting 9 men in the box last year.
9
men in the box.
9 in the box. Daring us to throw it.
Yep. So the opportunities to take those shots are going to be there, but the quarterback is the difference, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I see about 2-3 more wins. I think we go and take care of Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin lost a lot, so I'm be kind of disappointed if we don't go beat up on Stephen F. Austin. They lost a lot, and we own some payback the way it got us last year. Like I told you, I always see like a game in there we drop we not supposed to. So I got us being around 8-3. I got us around 8-3. I think this year we're gonna have a dual threat quarterback. It's just my opinion, y'all. This ain't Mac. Don't be going to say, GC. I just think, we're gonna have to do a threat quarterback that's gonna be able to take some pressure off Howard coming out the backfield, and he can sling the ball around. We got Montario Hunt coming back as gonna be our number one guy receiver. We brought in another 6'4" big guy from Missouri, a big 6'4" guy. So I think we got some weapons on the outside, and I love our defense. So I got us going 8-3. Got us going 8-3 with some swing games in there.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like I said, 8-3 is your ceiling, and you can get there. So that's Alcorn.
Yeah, I just thought coming. We had they have 9 in the box, and we'll run a counter. That's my boy went there. He ain't lie. Next up, Southern University. I call them the band school. What you got on Southern?
All right, so Southern, they're the defending West champion. They survived all the way down, survived all the way to the end there at the Bayou Classic. They start off with Alabama. We start off with 2 SWAC teams in non-conference, man. Yeah. So they're starting off with Alabama State, and then they got the heavily debated Jackson State game. Now, I have these guys winning 8 games, and I kept going back and forth about whether I really wanted to give them 8 wins or not. I kept being 7 or 8 or 7 or 8, and I settled on 8. And the reason why I settled on 8 is because of the defense. Like, their defense is predicted to be one of the best in the SWAC, up there with FAMU. Now, don't quote me that I'm saying, their defense is going to be the best. I'm saying that they have the potential for their defense to carry them deep places this year. And then the question also, too, is Harold Blood at quarterback. What are we going to get from Harold Blood? Obviously, you let J-Max tell it. He's the best quarterback on this side of the Mississippi.
he Drew Brees.
Hey, he got the same number. Number 9. But hey, Harold Blood, that's a question. But then also the biggest thing for them, can you finally get past Jackson State and FAMU? And as you can see, I've got them going 1-1 against both of them. You get both of them at home. This is your opportunity with all of the talk that y'all have about these 2 teams. You get them both on your stadium turf. Yeah. Can you do something against these teams? So as you can see, I've got them going 8-3 and finishing at 6-2. Now you can see that we'll get into the next slide about, the predicted finish for the West, but that's what I got for Southern. Gotcha.
Southern is like a wild card with me. I can look at them some days and think they can be great, and sometimes I'm like, Well, me, I kind of got Southern how I got Jackson. Southern had a lot of turnover on their defensive line. And I always loved Southern defensive line. We had a lot of turnover. I think they lost like 5 or 6 players off the defensive line. But they brought in some nice talent. But I just want to see it, and I want to see the quarterback position, Harold Blood. I want to see what he's able to do, and just duly coach their, call their position right. Because I think last year he messed it up. So I got to see it before I give them 8 wins. But I got them around 6. Something like that. I got them around 6 wins. I think they have a really good season. They got a lot of talent. I love their secondary too. I love Southern secondary. So,
and then you can see another one, my alma mater going there again. So we play at Southern and at Grambling, 2 places where have no success. I know some of my A&M people are like, you ain't got no faith. I'm just kind of like, hey man, I gotta call it like I feel it.
Yeah.
And like I know it.
Yeah.
And I just hope to be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Next up, it's the West Stand. You got Southern coming in number 1, the Big Bad Braves at 2, Texas Southern, Prairie View, Grambling, and then UAPB.
Yeah, so I see I don't see it as quite the shootout as it will. Well, let's not call it a shootout. It's not quite the survival as it was last year, because it seemed like between Southern and Texas Southern and Prairie View, it was like, you take it. No, you take it.
Yeah.
No, you take
I don't want it. I don't want it. You take it. Hot potato.
So you know, I see it being very, very tightly contested. You know, I kind of see it as you know, now that I have you guys knocking off Southern,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna take Southern having to beat Grambling in the Bayou Classic to win the West again.
Okay.
And take it by 1 game over Alcorn.
Gotcha. I can see that. Next up, we get to that east side. Mississippi Valley. The Delta Devils. Talk about that.
Yeah, east side, man. Mississippi Valley. Shout out to all my Valley fans out there. I hate to tell you that you're gonna be in for another one of these tough years, man. And it ain't gonna be because y'all ain't gonna try. But you got a new head coach, Kendrick Wade, you know, real good guy, said a lot of nice things at media day, but this schedule is really hard. This is hard, man. Now, they do get Central State. I believe that they beat Central State on a neutral field there in Chicago. But then you go down to Delta State, man, a very good Division II team that they lost to last year in Ida Bena. And then you got to play the MEAC champion in the Circle City. You know what I'm saying? And then follow that up by hosting FAMU.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can look all the way down the schedule, man. I mean, it's a pretty tough one. So I've got them at 2-9. Possibly could be 3-8, and their third win could be that Bethune-Cookman game.
Yeah. I'm with you there. I kind of picked them to. This is gonna sound so crazy what I'm about to say. I kind of picked them to upset Delta State. you don't hear a D1 upsetting a D2, but I kind of picked them to maybe upset Delta State. But I'm with you. I don't see much. Maybe the Bethune-Cookman as well. Maybe, and it's maybe the Delta State with that too. So I do think Central State is a lock, and UAPB should be a lock. They got to come there. So UAPB a lock, Central State a lock. But other than that, I'm with you. I want to see what Kendrick Wade got. I'm tired of getting so hyped up behind. Every year I get behind. I think this Valley year. I think this Valley year, and they let me down. So this year I'm just like, know what Valley you got to show me. I'm not getting my hopes up with you. I know Valley like everybody, little brother. I want to see them do good, but this year, you got to show me.
No, not with this schedule, brother.
That's
ain't happening.
Bethune-Cookman, another one.
Yeah, another one. Same situation, man. Coach Woody. Shout out to Coach Woody, man. That was a term. Oh my God. You want to talk about turbulence in the offseason, man. That was crazy, all the stuff they had going on. But it appears that they've got some things kind of heading in the right direction with them getting a new practice facility, which is long overdue. So congrats to them on that. But, new coach, tough, man, tough. Like at Memphis, at Miami. So that'll definitely help to pay some of those needed bills with those two games. I do give them Savannah State, and I like this, that we're playing some SIAC teams a little bit more. I think that's a good look. But I think that the rest of it, though, it's going to be a struggle for them. I think 2-9, same record as Valley, 2-9, 1-8 in the SWAC.
I 100% agree. They had a lot of turnover. I really don't know what to even expect from Bethune-Cookman. I do know my guy Brian Harvey, new SID. Shout out to Brian Harvey. He went back home to Bethune-Cookman. He's gonna do a good job putting the information out and making sure everybody knows what's going on at Bethune-Cookman. But other than that, I can't see him doing much this year. I can't see him doing much. So we just gonna pray for Bethune-Cookman.
Yes, sir.
Next up, your favorite school.
Yeah.
Alabama State. What you got?
Yeah, so Alabama State, man, they had a really good year last year, and it was derailed at the end. They lost at the end in a very, very heartbreaking fashion to FAMU. Had a blocked field goal on the very last play. And then they lost the Turkey Day Classic at home to UAPB, so it put a little bit of a damper on what was a good year for them. They won the Classic over us, which is the first time in 5 tries. And Coach Robinson did really good. You know, he generated some confidence amongst their fan base. But now being said, now it's year 2. What do you do in year 2, Coach Robinson? Now, the keys here, Demetrius Davis, you got to stay healthy, brother.
Yeah.
Now, if he ain't healthy, this season goes left real quick. When he's healthy, he's a game changer. You know, he makes plays. And then also, who steps up to be the number 1 receiver? Their number 1 receiver is not there anymore. He transferred. You know, they're defensively, though, they're pretty stout on defense.
Yeah.
You know, so, but offensively, they got to be able to sustain things on offense. Now, I have them out the gates beating Southern at home. I think it's going to be a really tight game in the first weekend. And then, you know, Miles, that's a game that they usually struggle with. For some reason, Miles come down there and just give them fits. But they'll win. But then, you know, as you can see through here, I've got them going 7-4. It's a respectable 7-4. And they're games that can go either way for them. But particularly the Classic. You know, the Classic is at the point now where it's either or. It's either us or it could be them. But 7-4 is where I've got them. And I got them going an even 4-4 in the league. Yeah. This is a good team that has the opportunity to do something bigger. But they got to keep the pieces on offense together.
Yeah, I think you're a little higher on Davis than I am. So that kind of knocks him down for me. I got him around 5 and 6, you know, a couple swing games. Davis, I'm just not seeing. I had a hot take that I thought Davis may lose their job coming into this year. That's how not high I'm on Davis. I'm just not seeing it. But I do like their receiving core. Keyshawn Johnson, Levante Chanot. I do like their receiving core, but I really need to see what the quarterback position. And so that's what I just don't trust. I know defense will be stout, but I got them around 5 and 6, 6 and 5. I'm with you. I got Alabama A&M retaking the Classic. So I got them about 5 and 6, 6 and 5.
Yeah, old number 1 on defense, man.
Yeah,
he will light you up.
And I know he pissed off because a lot of people felt like he should have got the defense the preseason player of the year on defense. Right. So I know he pissed off. Next up, Bulldogs.
Yeah. So for us, I talked about before. I'm not going to delay the time here, but you know I talked about it before about quarterback. That was the Achilles heel of our team last year. And then the other part of it, too, is our secondary depth. You know, we got to make sure that we got some guys in those rotations. Maynard, he recruited some guys, so we think that we're a little bit deeper. We just got to see how it translates on the field. As far as the action on the field, you know, I talked about the trips that we got going down to Louisiana. I'm just not high on going down there, man. Yeah. I'm just scared to death of it. I'm hoping that maybe we can pull a split somewhere. You know, the one that I think we could get if we did win one of the two, I would think it would be the Grambling game. I just don't really have the confidence in us beating Southern down there. And then the game against Jackson State in Mobile, like that game can go either way. Again, we just got to see what we do, man. But I have us at where I think our ceiling is. Okay. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong here going the other way. I think our ceiling is 7 wins, and that's where I have us at. And I have us going 5-3. I think we're going to scare some people. I think we're going to play some really, really good games. And you see that I have us beating FAMU at home. And you will see when we get to FAMU's page what that loss really means. But I really think that we're going to beat FAMU at home. We should have beaten them at home 2 years ago. Yep. You know,
when they came back at the end,
yeah, they came back at the end. I think that will be a game that we will definitely get up for, especially if we've beaten Alabama State the week before in the Classic. We'll come in with a high, ready to play bigger. But I think we come up short in terms of trying to win the East. 5-3, respectable record, and 7-4 overall.
Gotcha. I kind of agree with some of your points. I think I don't think people realize how close y'all played Jackson State last year as well.
Yep.
I don't think, and I think if Manning can find that quarterback, I kind of like the kid from Tennessee more than Georgia State, the big kid Brown.
Yep.
If he can come in and kind of get his groove at quarterback, I love the running game. You return your offensive line. I love Eaglin. You return a lot of the offensive line. Love Hayes on defense. I think you got the pieces. I just want to see the quarterback, and like you said, the secondary deal. But I think if, if I'm betting on coaches, I think I'll bet on Manning. I think Manning can coach. So I think I got him beating Jackson State. I got him beating Jackson State. And I don't know if I can go with you on the FAMU, but I'll go with you on the Jackson. But we can flip flop that FAMU for Jackson State. Mouth.
Okay, so you flip flop that. And you still got us at 7-4. I can take that.
Yeah, 7-4. Yeah, well, a swing game here there, so I like that 7-4 swing game. Yep.
All right.
Next up, we just talked about him, Jackson State.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people were probably waiting to see what is Wild Wayne gonna say about them Tigers. Well, a lot of questions. The two questions there can be expansive. It ain't enough. It's so many more questions that we ain't got time to even talk about. But I limited it to the new coaching staff. TC Taylor taking over. He looks the part. But now let's see how it translates when the games start. And then you got a new quarterback. That's always a big thing when you're talking about, with a team. When you got a new quarterback, man, it's always something. And then he's got a lot of new personnel that he's got to develop, incoming transfers, recruits. But I've got them starting out, and I went back and forth about this one. Mm-hmm. Starting out against South Carolina State, I kept going back and forth. I could see different reasons why they could lose this game. But I think that coming out, I think TC Taylor is going to have a lot to prove, especially the fact that it's on national television. A lot of eyes are going to be on it in week 0. And I think that they're going to pull it out. I don't think it's going to be, the greatest win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be one of those 4-quarter games, but I like them to beat South Carolina State. Then I went back and forth about this FAMU game. I spent a lot of time on this one, man, because this is giving me the FAMU Jackson State game of 2 years ago, the 7-6 game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what this is giving me the vibes of. Like, I can see FAMU coming in sky high, wanting to make a statement, and Jackson State coming for them boys again. So this L right here, this is a L with a question mark behind it. And then going to Southern, I'm pretty sure about this Southern loss, because I think Southern's got this bitter taste in their mouths from losing to them twice last year. And I think Southern really desperately is going to get out there and sell it all out to try to beat them. And then the Texas State game, we know it. And then I got them running the table the rest of the way to go 8-3, 7-1 in the SWAC. I know this might not be what Jackson State fans want to see. They want to see a 9-2 or a 10-1. But I think all things considering, with all the things that we don't know, predicting you guys to go 8-3 and 7-1 in the SWAC, I think you would take that.
Yeah, I would if I was them, because I just don't see it. 8-3 in TC first year, they need to be standing up clapping. They need to be excited. I'm excited. Exactly. I think a lot of people in trouble. If they can go 8-3 first year, there's a lot of people in trouble. But I kind of got them. I got a different kind of take on Jackson. I think that first game is going to be like a swing game, go either way. But if they do lose that first game, I think the season gets ugly. I think the season gets ugly because with so many transfers, I would have them starting off 0-4.
So 0-4, yeah, I kind of thought that too.
Yeah, if they lose that first game, I have them starting off 0-4, and then from there, you don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes you have all these transfers who thought they were going to come to the SWAC and dominate. Now they're not dominating, and they start quitting, or the team start fighting as a first-year coach. You never know what you're going to get, so you see different things like that. So then that's when crazy losses you're not expecting start happening. Loss against Alabama State or anything might happen. So I think they may spiral if they start 0-4. But if not, I kind of got them around 6-5, 7-4, which I think is a good year for a first-year coach with all new players. So I got them 6-5, 7-4. I got them. I don't think they're gonna be FAMU or Southern or the Big Bad Braves, of course, and I don't think they'll be A&M or Texas State. So I got them 6-5. I don't think they win none of those games, but I think South Carolina State can be a swing game. So yeah, I got them 6-5.
This was hard, man. I spent a lot of time on this one.
Yeah, because
hard.
Because you could be totally wrong and all that talent they brought in hits and then they back good again, or it could be I could be hit dead spot on and the talent don't gel first year and they bad, but they did bring a lot of talent. So it's just a wait and see game with Jackson.
And that was one of the reasons why I gave him the benefit of the doubt with the 8-3 because they got a lot of talent, man.
Yeah. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to pull it all together. I don't think they have the same talent they've had, but I think to keep on trying to rebuild every year like that, it's gonna start to take a toll. I think this year you see the difference, and so I got them 6-5. 6-5, which is not bad. It's not bad. Next up, FAMU.
All right, so FAMU. So last year they were 9-2. This year I got them 9-2. Questions: can Musa make plays in close games? Now, last year, FAMU had power outages on offense. The Grambling game, the Alabama State game. Both games, they scored 20 points, exactly 20 points to escape. So there are times when their offense last year went dormant, couldn't move the ball, and they leaned on the defense. Now, we know the defense is going to be good again. But the thing is now is with you being the pick, how can you handle the hype and the expectations? And it all starts very early with that first game. If you don't win that first game and you lose for the third straight year, what does that do to their psyche?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the next one here is that West Florida game. For those that don't know, West Florida is a Division II power. They've won a Division II national championship here in the last 5 years, and they've made a couple deep runs, and they got a white guy we know very well at quarterback.
Yeah, that's where he went. The white guy that said the wrong word, that's where he went. Yeah.
That's where he went.
Yeah.
So, West Florida, don't just look at West Florida and say, oh, this is a cupcake, this is an easy win. West Florida going to come in there and they're going to try to do something. But all in all, I see them going 9-2. I see them finishing at 7-1 in the SWAC. And we'll get into the next slide where you'll see, that them being 7-1 with a win over Jackson State, I have them winning the tiebreaker to take the East.
Yeah, I got FAMU as the favorite to win the SWAC. So they're the favorite. In my opinion, they'll have to but FAMU will get in their own way. So that's the part you gotta. Willie Simmons will muck it up sometimes, and they'll get in their own way, stupid stuff all the time. So that's my only doubt with FAMU. But other than that, I think talent wise, they're head and shoulders the best right now. So but I do think I will say that if they find a way to lose that Jackson game, I think they drop another game in conference somewhere. I think that may break their psyche, and they just so I think that I don't know if they lose to Jackson again, and then go 9-2 again. I don't know. But I got them. Really, that's my pick to win a SWAC this year. FAMU. I think if they don't mess it up, they don't get in their own way. I like FAMU. I think
again, the hype. They're the hunted. They are the team that is fully being hunted.
Yeah.
Them folks down there in Southern want them bad. Yeah. Jackson State want them bad.
Like you said, how will you take to all that pressure?
Exactly.
Will you crumble? Exactly. Will you do stupid stuff? Now everybody watching you keep doing stupid stuff, get yourself in trouble. It's just that's just my question. But right now I got them winning the conference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next up, you got Florida A&M, Jackson State.
Yeah. So you can see at the bottom there's 1-8 at the bottom, and then you can see there's gonna be some really good games through the East, but I think that Florida A&M is gonna win it with the tiebreaker this year. by virtue of winning that first game. And again, if you're a Jackson State fan and you're looking at this, if you're an Alabama A&M guy like me, even Alabama State, if you're looking at this, you see that there's some opportunity here because there's some swing games on everybody's schedule that can shift the balance of this. Even when we talked about the West before, there's swing games all over the place. But right now, I'm gonna go with FAMU to take it.
Gotcha. Me too. I agree. You got FAMU over Southern in the SWAC championship game. I got it. As much as it pains me to say this, I got Alcorn and FAMU in the SWAC championship game at Bragg, and I'll give it to FAMU the nod right now. But they better not slip up. That's what I always tell them. You better not slip up, FAMU. You better not slip up.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see curious to know what the folk think about what we said.
Yeah, they didn't. I'm gonna tell you, they didn't like that the A&M win over FAMU. They didn't like that one. They didn't like that one. We got a question: which school has the most returning players? I know Texas Southern has a lot of returning. I know Alcorn, we have a lot of returning. I think we lost 3 starters. Texas Southern, Alcorn.
And then
A&M, y'all brought back a lot.
Yeah, we brought some people back. FAM's got a lot of returners.
FAM got a lot of returners.
The only guy that they didn't return was Smith in their receiving core.
Yeah.
But they got Oxendine back, Shareed back, Pruitt back.
And they added some pieces. Yeah, they added some pieces.
Yeah, and then their offensive line, they returned guys from that offensive line. So,
and I'm big on retention. In this transfer portal age, I'm big on retention when I'm making predictions. So when I'm making predictions, I'm big on retention because you never really know what you get out of the portal. Sometimes it can boom, sometimes it can bust. I done had some come in. I had a kid, I tell it to all the time, I had a kid come in and his tape from his previous school, dude had like 8 sacks the year before. I'm like, oh, get to Alcorn. He couldn't sack me. He couldn't get around me on the block. And then we had like Ontario Hunter, our lead receiver. When he came, he didn't have any stats coming in. He went to Rutgers. Didn't have many stats. It came to Alcorn. He's gonna be our number 1 this year. So it can go to both ways. So when I'm doing predictions, I kind of go with retention, what you bring back.
Yeah, and there's some potential for some very powerful impact transfers that came in. I mentioned Macon from Missouri for you guys. Could he be a quarterback? There's a lot of quarterback prospects across the board that transfer. I think
Macon is what I think he may be and may swing it for us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback, this is something I'm looking at. So somebody pop at quarterback, it'll swing. It'll swing it for him.
Yeah, and in this transfer portal age, the thing I like about it is that you have the opportunity to get some guys that were from the Power 5 or Group of 5 that maybe their career hasn't gone on a trajectory that they thought it would be. And, it gives the SWAC the opportunity. Now, obviously, on the flip side of the transfer portal, we have to continue to recruit our players, and from year to year. And some of those players, they have a breakout season. I mentioned Kayvon Britton at UAPB. Had a breakout year, rushed for 1,000 yards. He said, hey, I want to see my talent on the next level. So, we'll see what it goes, man. I'm excited about this season. I'm excited. I've kind of had to sift through a lot of the BS from, some of the people out here, because you got people that don't know anything about football versus those that do. And then you got people who just hope their team is going to win versus those that know that their team's going to win. Yeah.
And they call everybody else stupid and they don't know. And you know how it is. It's just like,
it's that time talking about.
Yeah, it's that time of year. But, man, I plug your show one more time before we get out of here. From the Hill podcast.
Yeah, From the Hill podcast. Shout out to my people. T. Gooden, Jay the Great, Jennifer Murray, DT Green, Corey Williams, David Thomas. Shout out to all of my group. We've been working really, really hard. We're going to kick off 21 consecutive weeks, man, of shows starting this Tuesday night, August 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. You can follow us on Instagram. They don't even call it Twitter no more, call it X. And then also, you can check out our YouTube channel. We got a whole lot of guests that are coming on this year. We're gonna have a lot of players that are gonna be on, coaches, so we're gonna do a lot of things to try to continue to boost the profile, not just the A&M, but just also HBCU culture, because we also have people that are on that are not athletes that are just into the HBCU culture. And then also we hook up, with other guys from other shows. We had J-Max on last year, and we're gonna have, G on this year.
Yeah.
What we're about unifying the culture, man. And we also want to provide very good content for people who are out here that are following HBCU athletics and HBCU culture, because Lord knows we need it. We need as much positive press as possible. So appreciate everybody that has watched us, and those that have not been able to watch us yet, you can go and just check us out, and then you can join us on Tuesday. So,
man, as always, bro, I appreciate you for coming on. I gotta go ahead and get out of here. I got a big meeting with Fred McNair starting at 7:06. What is it, 7:05? So I got another minute or two I can kind of play around. But I appreciate everybody for coming on tonight. Make sure y'all like the stream before you get out of here. Make sure you check out the 1871collective.com and AnthonyLawrenceCollection.com. And y'all ain't got anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you coming through, Wayne.
Yes, sir. We'll do it again here when the season starts, man.
Yes, we'll be back.